Hey everybody, welcome to another Die in the Dungeon video. Today we're going to be diving and doing a playthrough from a dungeon directly from the dungeon guide. We're going to play through the DieMinions map, which I set up on a different video, except we're going to play with the DieRake. I don't think I've played with that on screen before, so it'll be nice to see what we can do with this guy. Now I've already got my stats predetermined. I've got 20 time and my ability die, which are standard. And then I've decided to go heavy on the might with 12, 10 agility, 8 magic, and only 6 health. Probably going to have to sacrifice stats for health to avoid dying in this game. But we'll give it a whirl. I've got all the tiles positioned, and the goal of this game is to defeat the 2 epic parties, epic dungeon tiles, which are represented by the die tokens. I know exactly where those are. And I need to gather the DieMinion support. That's probably the best way for me to defeat it. Both of them, because defeating 2 of them is not an easy feat. So here we go. Like I said, I've got my stats predetermined and I'm ready to rock through the dungeon. And on this one, you start on a tile, there's only one direction to go. So the very first thing you have to do is fight whatever's under this tile. And this is a battle magic tile. I'll go a little bit closer, hopefully it zooms in there. So this says it's a level 1 tile. I'm going to fight some level 1 heroes. And it's going to say to add the hero's might stat to their magic stat when they attack. So that's going to give them a little bit of a boost. So I'm going to put that down here, and I have to dive into my hero deck, and it has a warrior and a wizard, level 1. So I find a level 1 warrior, or fighter I should say, level 1 wizard, and these 2 wonderfully illustrated heroes are going to be battling me in the dungeon. I'm going to put them over here. And of course it cost me 1 time to get there. I should have done that first. I lose a time and gain an ability point whenever I start my turn. Alright, so we're diving through the dungeon. We're going to battle magic, and I'm not going to use an ability this turn, so they are going to do their attack. Alright, so might, going to add 4 and 1 together, so they're going to roll a d6 for their might. They've rolled a 2. That is a miss against my powerful 12. No surprise there. And then for their magic, they have 6 plus 1 is a d8 against my magic, which is 8. So they have to roll a max roll to hit me. That is a miss. I'm feeling pretty confident in this first battle of the dungeon. So I'm going to battle them with some might. I've got my mighty d12, and they've only got 5 defense against this. So I roll that. That's a 3. That is a miss. I could modify that die by using some of my stat points if I wanted to, but I don't feel too at risk from this pesky little duo of heroes. The heroes attack with might. That is a miss. And they attack with magic. That is a miss. So I'm going to fight back, again battling with my magic. I rolled a 2. Not so good. They're going to attack with their might. That's a miss. Going to attack with their magic. A hit. An 8 is a hit. And I apologize, I already neglected to do the tiles ability. When they attack with magic, I was actually supposed to be adding their might to the roll. So they might have hit me last time, but we'll just keep on playing. They did hit me with magic this time around. So what happens when they hit me with magic? Well, I either have to take a health damage or a point of magic damage. It's really early in the game, and I don't want to hurt my stats too much yet, so I'm going to take the health damage. That's fine. I can take a magic missile or 2. We'll get on with it. And so I'm going to fight back. Maybe I should be trying a different die here. They do have 5 defense for might, but their defense for agility is only 3, and my attack is a d10, so I actually have a 70% chance of hitting them with my d10, so maybe let's go that. Might attack. We figured out that our claws aren't quite getting through the hero's capability, so I rolled a 7 with my agility, a 7 against their 3. That is a hit, and I can take down either one of the heroes with that hit. Doesn't matter which one. So we're going to take out the wizard. Just going to stop him from frying, because the wizard actually does add the might to their attack, which is dangerous. And so I will gain my first dynamic point. Once that die gets to a 6, it's going to move over into here and give me a pip. But we'll talk about that later. The hero gets to attack. They've only got a d4 now. So they roll a d4. A 1 is a miss. So I'm going to fight back, and I will use my magic die now. We decide I'm gonna spit some dice power at him. I roll a 2. A 2 against his 1 is a hit, so that hero goes down, and I gain another hero point, we'll call it this. Alright, I'm back. Sorry for that brief delay. You'll see that the lighting's a bit different. I had to switch to a different camera. Something happened with the other one, but here we go. I've just defeated the two heroes. I gain 2 points, I already mentioned that, and I've successfully explored that tile, so I move forward. Alright, before the turn ends, I'm going to activate my dice hoard, use an ability, and it says I can place a d6 on here and set it to 1. If there's already a die on there, I can move it up by 1. And throughout the game, the DieRake's ability will progress for the one that it has on its character board, or I could always use the cards that I have in my hand, these ability cards here. So that'll be a nice decision to decide what I'd prefer to do there. If it's a little bit dark, I do apologize. So we're going to explore some more. I will gain an ability point back. I will lose a time, so I'm down to 18 time. If I run out of time, I will lose this game. And we'll go, where do I want to build up? Maybe I want to build up my might to become a d20. And my might's over here, so I could get a DieMinion on the way. So we're going to go here, and we're going to find the deadly tile. So on the deadly tile, it says here, if you're hit this battle, lose an additional health point. Alright, so I'm going to be fighting a fighter and a rogue this time around, both level 1. So I will dig those out. There is a fighter and a rogue. Level 1, not too bad. This battle should be relatively simple for me to win. I'm going to try to get some more light on here. Alright. But you never know. You can always take a hit. The heroes always have a chance. That's part of this game, is that they always have a chance to roll their max die value. I'm not going to use an ability. The only ability I could use at this time is a Devour dice. When I'm hit by a hero attack, I could ignore the damage it would deal. And that doesn't seem like something I want to do at this time. So they're going to attack me with their might. Their might this time is 6, so they're going to roll a d6 for their might. And if I'm hit this battle, I'm going to lose an additional health point, so that's not good. I just rolled a 6. So their might did hit me, even though my might is 12. They always have a chance, and the max die value hits me. When I take a hit, I have to lose a health point. I don't even get a choice this time. And I still have to lose a might damage, which can be done to my might or to my health. I'm actually going to take it to my might this time because I'm getting worried this early in the game losing my health that fast. So now they have done their might attack, but they also get an agility attack, which is also a d6, which is a 1, so that is a miss. Now they have a combined might of 6, agility of 6, and magic of 2, so even though magic is my weakest stat, it is my most likely to hit with. So we're going to keep whipping out the DieRake magic here. I rolled a 4 against their 2, that's a hit. They have pretty much equal stats there, so it doesn't matter which one I kill in this case. We'll take out the rogue. So when we take out the rogue, I gain a point, and they're going to attack me with a d4, which means they have a 25% chance of hitting. They rolled a 1, which is a miss, and so I'll fight back. This time I'm going to whack them with agility, so with agility I get to roll a d10. I rolled a 5, so that is a hit against the warrior. Warrior is defeated, move up to 4 points, and successful. Took a hit both battles, but that's okay. We'll move my standee over. Now I could activate my ability again, use the dice hoard. So let's do that. I'm going to use my ability point, activate this dice hoard. So now I'm up to 2. So what'll happen is if I ever have 3 ability points, I could spend them to roll this dice and defeat that many heroes, which will be pretty important later in the game. Alright, I'm going to keep on moving, so that means I'm going to lose another time, 17 time. That might sound like a lot of time, but there are things that will impact your time in this game. I'll gain another ability point, and I will move to this. When I move to a tile that has a token on it, I will gain that token. So I'm going to add this to my repertoire here. I'm going to try moving this light just a little, see if we can get shine a bit more light onto this scenario here. Alright, hopefully that brightens it up just a tad. And flip over this tile, because I've already gained my ability, I already lost my time. So the tile at hand is a might tile. So might, and it says here, gain 2 might, upgrade if this exceeds your max. So that is a wonderful tile for me to get, except for the fact that there's 4 fighters on it that I'm going to have to take down, but that's okay. I gain 2 might, so I go up to 12, and in order to get 13, I actually do have to upgrade my die. So I will turn that into this black die here and move it up to 13. I now have 13 might, and when I attack with might, I get to roll the mighty d20. So that's what I was looking for to do anyway. But now I have to battle 4 level 1 fighters, because that's a level 1 tile, and 4 fighter heads on it. So here we go. We've got 4 level 1 fighters, and this is where, when there's multiples of the same hero type, they have a special ability. And I know I've mentioned this in other training videos before as well, but we'll just kind of highlight it here as best we can. On the top left, you'll see under fighter, for each fighter in the party beyond the first, the hero's might and agility attack rolls gain a +1 bonus after rolling. And if they roll a 10 or higher, which is any time they could possibly roll a 10 or higher, if they do, they're going to deal extra damage. So I could be in a world of hurt with these fighters. Now, ability points, I'm not going to use an ability, so they're going to go right into their attacks. The good thing is, even though there's 4 fighters, they only get 1 attack. It's like they all swarm together. It just represents how they're doing in their initiative of the battle. And just like I only get 1 strike. So these 4 fighters have 4, 8, 12, 16 attack, and their attack roll is decided by the lowest die that could roll that value. So I'm going to be rolling a d20, but for each fighter beyond the first, they're going to get a +1 bonus. So it's going to be a d20 +3 to whatever result I roll. So 12 plus 3 is a 15. 15 is a hit against my 13 might, and because it's a hit, they are going to deal an extra point of damage according to their fighter power. So I'm going to take 2 points of damage, which I can take to my might or to my health. And I'm actually going to take it to my might right now, because no matter how low this goes, I've already upgraded my die, so I'm always going to have a d20 to roll. So I think it's safer to take the damage there right now. So now I get to fight back. I'm going to have a tough time beating their 16 agility, or 16 might defense. They have an 8 agility defense, and they have a 4 magic defense. So I have a 50% chance of defeating them with a magic roll, which is pretty fair in my eyes. So we're going to go with that. I rolled a 1. That is a miss. I could use a bunch of points to get that up, but I don't think it's worth it. We're going to let them attack me again with their superpowered fighter. They rolled a 3. +3 is a 6. That's a miss, so I'm thankful for that. I'm going to roll now. I rolled a 2. Again, they have 4, so I'd have to add 3 to my roll in order to defeat them. Now, I could use my DieMinion and add a d6 to my roll, but I don't think it's a good time for that. We're going to keep on letting them chop away at my tough exterior. The DieRake's not scared, except that they did roll a 10. +3 is 13. Now 13 now exceeds my might, because I'm down to 11. That is a hit. So I'm going to take 2 damage. I'm going to drop my might down to 9. Normally it would only be 1 damage, but because the result was higher than 10, I took that 2 damage. Okay, we're going to do this again. Come on, magical Spitfire. I rolled a 2 again. I can't take these hits much longer, so I'm actually going to reduce my magic by 3 points to boost my magic result by 3 points. So now I have a 5. You can do that anytime you're attacking, just knowing that it's going to impact your stats for the rest of the game. But that allowed me to do enough damage. I'm 5 against their 4 to defeat one of the fighters. So this should actually be up to 5 now. I've defeated 1 fighter. Now the fighters are going to attack me. They have 4, 8, 12 might now, which means they're only going to roll a d12 for their attack and only get a +2, so it's much harder for them to hit me. They rolled a 1. That's a miss even with their +2, so now I'm going to fight back. And I'm going to keep on using my magical attack. 5 is a hit. I got to stop rolling on the board. I'm knocking all my dice over here. But okay, so 5 is a hit. We take out another hero. And when I take out that fighter, I move up to 6 on my dynamic dice, which automatically upgrades it into my first pip die. So now I'm at 6, and so I'll start counting when I defeat heroes on my next pip die to build up and get the number 2 pip. So you'll see how that works as the game goes on. Regardless, these fighters aren't done with me yet. they've got 8 agility and they're still in it to win it. So they're going to roll their D8. They rolled a 1, that's a miss. I'm going to fight back and I'm going to go with some agility attack now. I've got a 60% chance with agility just because I want a different type of attack. We're going to do a tail swipe with agility. I've got a 4. Their agility is 4. So the only way for me to hit them is to use a dynamic die, which is permanent, and that would go away. Or I could use an agility point, or I could just let it go. And I'm just going to let it go. They're going to attack me back with their D8. They get a 3 plus 1 is 4, that's a miss. I'm going to agility attack them. I rolled a 1, that's a miss. They're going to might attack me some more. 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 against my might of 9 is still a miss. So we're going to keep agility attacking. A 5 against their 4 is a hit. And I take out another fighter. These guys, they're just puny little warriors against a mighty DieRake. I attack back with my agility. 1 again. Man, they're pretty good at running away. And now the fighter is attacking with a D4. A 1 is a miss. I'll attack back. You know what? I'm gonna show them how it's done. I'm gonna attack them with might just because I can. I'll roll my D20. I rolled a 16 and absolutely showed this warrior fighter who is boss. So I defeat him and gain another dynamic point. All right. So we defeated 4 more heroes in our quest through the dungeon here, and sometimes I got to reposition these the right way. All right. So we're headed this way. I wanted to go get that might, but now that I think about it, I already have my max value die on might, so I really don't even need to go that way. So now I can make a decision. Do I want to go up this way? It doesn't take me any extra time to travel back from whence I came. And so sometimes that decision you got to make is, do I want to keep going the way I was going, or did circumstances change? I'm going to head this way instead. And so what will happen is I will gain an ability point. So I'll be up to 2 points now because I chose not to use an ability point this turn. And I will lose a time, so I'll be down to 16. And I will make my way up to this tile here. Now I could lose time to gain health, but I don't think now is the time for it. So we flip over this tile, and I'll try to get it in the light there. So you can see I found a magic tile. On the bottom you see the 4 heads of the wizards. This is going to be a tough fight. But we happen to come upon another boost tile. I'm going to gain 2 magic and upgrade if it exceeds my max. Now unfortunately I did use magic already, so I'm going to go up to 7, but that doesn't put me past my max. So no upgrading of magic die for me, but at least it gives me a little bit of extra oomph against these wizards that I'm about to fight. 4 level 1 wizards. This is not going to be a pretty sight. The tough thing about wizards is they don't always smash your health. They smash your time, and time is money. Time is how you survive this game. So here we go. We've got the 4 wizards, but before we fight them, we're going to take a look at our lovely hero chart to show you what happens. When we look at our hero chart, we're looking under the wizard here, and it says here, for each wizard in the party beyond the first, when you encounter them, you immediately lose 1 time point. So beyond the first, there's 3 more beyond the first, which means I immediately lose 3 time, and I'm down to 13 time. And that really puts me on a crunch because I have to try to stop these heroes in the next 13 turns. These epic parties that are in the top corners of the dungeon there. But not only that, what else do the wizards do? Well, when they attack, as a magic bonus, if they hit me with a magic attack of 10 or higher, while a wizard's in the party, I lose 1 time in addition to 1 magic damage. So much like the fighters, the wizards do the same thing, except they don't hit your health, they hit your time. Okay, so let's take a peek at my abilities. I cannot use my dice hurl ability because I've only got 2 ability points and that takes 3. So as much as I'd love to hurl some dice at these wizards, I cannot do that. I've got a devour dice ability, a tunneling ability, and the other 2 abilities are too expensive for me right now. So I could devour dice, play this ability card when I'm hit by a hero attack, ignore the damage it would deal, and I would be able to regain health. So that card I might actually consider playing in order to avoid taking time damage, because that's what I'm worried about the most. So the wizards are going to get to attack first. You can see they've got 6 magic each. So when you have 6 magic times 4, that's 24 that they would be able to roll technically. But because there's no D24 or D30 in this game, they get to roll the highest value die, which is a D20. So they're going to attack my magic with a D20. They hit me with a 17, and 17 against my piddly 7 defense. That is most definitely a hit. And if they hit, well, like, you know, I take an extra time damage. So I'm actually going to use an ability point, put me down to 1 ability point, and use this card, which I can only use once a game, to play it. So I'm going to ignore the damage that that attack would deal, including the time damage, and I'm going to roll the die type that was used to attack me. If I roll greater than half that die's value, I'll gain a health. So I'm going to roll this die. As long as I roll higher than 10, I will gain health. I rolled an 11, so I just found a way to recuperate a bit in that little back and forth trade there. So now I get a chance to fight back. They've only got 4 might between the 4 of them together, so 4 might, I get to roll a d20. Sounds like a safe bet to me. We're going to do a mighty chomp, try to take off one of these wizards' hands. So I've rolled a 6. 6 beats 4, so one of the wizards does go down. We'll take him down. I will gain a point. I'm happy about that. Now they get to counterattack. They've got 6, 12, 18, so they still get to roll a d20. They rolled a 7. They don't get any bonuses, and a 7 doesn't beat my 7. So thankfully, I managed to dodge the magical lightning bolts in this round of combat. I'm going to fight back, and I'm going to charge in. This time I'm going to try to do we'll say a headbutt against this next wizard while he's trying to cast a spell against me. And I've rolled a 19. That is definitely a hit against their 3 defense. So I've taken down another wizard out of the battle, gain another point, and I cackle maniacally in my... however a DieRake might cackle. Let's say, Wizards are going to keep attacking, though. They're not done yet. They've got 12 magic. They still have a chance to hit. I've only got 7. So they're going to roll a d12 and hurl a little fire at me. They rolled a 5 against my 7. I'm just doing too good. They missed. So I'm going to attack back. This time I'm going to do a nice tail smash. Whap my spiky d20 tail into the head of one of these wizards. I rolled a 2. 2 is a miss against their 2 might, unless I use a point and decide to smash them. And you know, given the fact that I don't want to lose any time, they're still rolling a d12, I'm actually going to use one of my might points. So I'll be down to 8 might, and take out one of these wizards by upgrading my 5 roll into a... oh no, a 5 was still a hit. No wait, my 2. Turn my 2 into a 3. So by doing that, I have enough. I'm over their defense, and I gain a point on my experience dynamic die there. And then the wizard is going to attack me. They only down to a d6. He's all by himself, desperately trying to survive. 4 against my 7 is a miss, and I try to finish this guy off. Little decapitation. That wizard is defeated. So I'll gain 1 last point. So because I got to 6, the next die is a 2, so now I have 3 points worth of dynamic dice that I could be using at any time. I move forth into the dungeon. Whew, that was a tough one. I lost a bit of time, I lost a bit of might, but the battle goes on, and I will continue through the dungeon. I'll gain an ability point on my next turn and lose a time. I'm down to 12 times, so something I got to be very conscientious of. And it's also important to note that you may get into the last battle and have a wizard in that party. And if they take out your time, even in the middle of battle, if they take out your time, you lose. And I'm exploring the next tunnel, so I get this DieMinion token. This happens to be, I know it's hard to see on here, but that is Diante the Great. And so it's double-sided die token. We're going to keep that for a battle later on. We'll flip this over. We found our first trap tile in this particular game. This is called Narrow. And this says that I immediately lose 1 might, 1 agility, or 1 time. I get to choose which one. If I choose not to move back, I have to move back to the tile that I came from. And I'd have to experience this again. That's basically how this one is meant to work. I may have to reword that for the final game, mind you, based on how I'm reading it now. But I have to lose 1 might, 1 agility, or 1 time. I don't want to lose my time. I'm going to take it to my might, agility, or time. Where's agility? Agility's way down here. The chances of me getting that are pretty slim, so I'll take the loss in agility. That's fine. So I progress through the dungeon, move on to my next turn. So I gain another ability point. I lose another time. I am going to gain the D20 DieMinion, also known as Twent. And we'll explore this tile here. So this tile here we have a DieMinion Revolt. So the DieMinion Revolt says if I have any DieMinions, I choose and roll their die type, and I'll lose that many points total of any number of stat dice or sacrifice the DieMinion. So I only have to choose one of my DieMinions. Always makes sense to choose the lowest one. So I'm going to roll that, roll a d6. I rolled a 3. So my two options are to lose 3 points worth of stat dice or sacrifice the DieMinion, and I get to choose after the roll. I am most definitely sacrificing this traitorous little Cubera. Cubera, I cannot stand what you just tried to do to me, so you're gone. Alright. We'll continue on my trek through the dungeon. I will lose a time to take my next turn. I will gain an ability point, so now up to 4 ability points. That puts me in a good spot. You can never get higher than 4 ability points, by the way. And when I progress here, I get a time token. Now the time token you can use right away or save it. I need lots of time anyway, so what it does is it just gives you 2 time immediately. So just a minor boost in time. And the dungeon tile I'm exploring says, oh, it's another magic tile. So I gain 2 magic and upgrade if this exceeds my max. So my magic was at 7, goes up to 8, and because it's at its max, I can upgrade this to a d12 and bring it up to 9. Now the caveat there is that I can never have more than 2 dice of the same type, so I can't have another d20, but that was my first d12 on here because I'd already upgraded my other one, so we're safe there. Alright, but we're going to be in a real tough pickle because this is going to create 4 wizards, and if you can see on the tile there, I know it's tough in the dark, but it's a 2 tile, which means every one of these wizards is actually a level 2 wizard, and those are much harder to defeat than a level 1 wizard. So I'm going to have to pull out all the stops here if I want to continue my trek through this dungeon. 4 level 2 wizards. Let's see what happens. So you saw how hard it was for me to fight them before. Look at them now. They've got 8 magic each, 3 agility, but thankfully they're not very mighty. So I may have a chance. Now, because there's 3 of them, I immediately lose, or there's 4 of them, I immediately lose 3 times, so I'm down to 9 time. Not a very good time am I having against this party of wizards. 1 party of wizards, not so bad. 2 parties, real tough times happening here. So I could use my dice hurl ability. I could use 3 points, roll the dice based on my dice hoard, divide the result by 5, and defeat that many heroes. So, and basically it's based on how much I've upgraded it so far. So right now my dice hurl says I get to roll a d4 and a d6. So if I were to roll a d4 and a d6 and roll them and divide by 5, that could defeat one of them, could be a challenge. I'm going to choose to save that ability till I have it up to a 3. I don't want to risk it yet. And then I do have a tunneling card. Play this card instead of exploring. Place your standee up to 4 tiles away and explore that tile. So that's a way to speed through when you've lost a lot of time. This guy knows how to bypass that. I have a maximize card. I can gain up to 3 points to my might, agility, or magic. It doesn't upgrade my die, but it does help me survive. And then I have the dice hide. Each time I'm hit by an attack for the remainder of the game, roll the same die type. I actually kind of like that. So we're going to use up all 4 of my ability points that I've been saving up, and we're going to initiate the dice hide. So dice hide means I just strengthen my hide. I'm ready for combat. Anytime I'm hit, I get to roll the die type that I was attacked with, and if I roll the max value of that die, I can ignore the damage. So chances are very, very slim that that will ever happen, but it's now been activated, so we're just going to place it over here to remember that. Okay, so now the wizards get to attack. The max value they can roll is a d20. They are slamming me with magic. They've rolled a 3, so that is a miss against my 9, so I'm quite happy with that. and now I'm going to be fighting back with my super bites again. I've already tasted wizards once. I can taste them again and show them how it's done. First attack, I rolled an 18, and that is enough to take out one of these wizards. Now, even though they're level 2 wizards, I only get 1 dynamic point for defeating them. So there we go. They're going to attack me back with their magic. They rolled a 13. That is definitely a hit against my 9. And I can't modify their dice. Like, I can't lose magic to reduce their die roll because it just would defeat the purpose of it anyway. But because it's over 10 and they're wizards, I do immediately lose a time because of that. So we're putting myself in danger. We're actually going to race to try to take down an epic party before I truly am out of time in this game. And not only that, I lose a health point, which I can lose as magic. So I'm going to lose a magic point. I'm going to fight back with my might. Take a snap at this guy's beard. I rolled a 16, so that takes out another wizard. No problem there. Build up my dynamic die 1. They're going to attack me back. 8 and 8. They still, with only 2 wizards in the party, they still get to roll a d20. They rolled an 8 against my 8. They have to get higher, and I have to get higher, so that is a good thing in my books. Now I'm going to try to snap this guy's staff in half, make him worthless. A 4 against 2 is a hit. Take out another wizard, gain another point. And the final wizard only gets to roll a d8 against me. A 1 is a miss, and I'm going to finish him off. I rolled a 20. That wizard is dead. There's no critical hits in this game, by the way, but that felt critical to me. I think I swallowed that guy whole. Alright, dynamic die, moves up to 4. Whew, running out of time in this super dungeon that we're in. And there is no more time icons to get, so if you look at it, I have 8 turns left available. I've got 2 DieMinions at my disposal, and I have to try to take down some epic parties. So we are just going to rotate up. I'm not worried about that magic or that d12. I'm just going to move up. I will gain an ability point, so I'm at 1 ability point again. I will lose a time. I'm at 7. And I will take this DieMinion token that I found. That is a d10, also known as Spartan. And I'll flip over this tile here. So what did we find? We found, timeless. When you are hit this battle, lose a time. That is probably the worst tile I'd want to find. Thankfully, there's only 2 heroes there, and they're level 1. There's a level 1 rogue and a level 1 wizard. So I just really hope that they don't hit me. A wizard and a rogue, because there's no multiples of them, they don't have any special multiple abilities trigger. So they're just going to roll right into their attack unless I had an ability to use, and I don't. So because there's a rogue in the party, they've got 5, they're going to roll a d6 to attack with agility. A 6 against my 9 is normally a miss, but that is a max hit roll. And so when you are hit this battle, lose 1 time. So I immediately lose 1 time. Now I can activate my dice hide. Because I was hit, I can roll this d6. And if I roll a 6, I would have dodged it. So like I said, that's probably never going to happen. But I have it just in case. I take a time and I take a damage. I'll take a health damage. Now they attack me with their magic, which is 7 points, so they get to roll a d8. That is a 4, which is a miss against my 8, so I'm good with that. And now I get to choose how to fight back. They have magic and they have agility, so it really makes sense for me to keep going after the strength attack. 19 is a hit. We'll take down the wizard because I don't need to lose any more magic time, and magic is my lowest stat right now. So take out that wizard. The rogue gets to attack me with a little d4, try to stab me. A 3 is a miss, and I'm going to attack him with magic. I've got my d12 magic die, and he's only got a piddly 1. A 4, I take down the rogue. Alright, I defeated 2 heroes there, so I gained 2 more points. So now I get my 3rd dynamic die. Whew. Can't believe I've already defeated 12 heroes. Doing pretty good, pretty good. So we are up here now, and we're going to start and fight our first epic battle of this dungeon. So this die in the dungeon token, useful for multiplayer to remember that you defeated an epic party, or for yourself, I guess. But that'll go, I'll claim that once I defeat them. So So I'll flip this over, and I found the level 1 epic party, which is, see if I can get enough light on this for you guys to see it well. You might have to zoom in there, I don't know. But epic party, it's got an assassin, a rogue, and 2 clerics, and I cannot use abilities while a cleric is in the party. So at least there's no wizard in there. My time will commit. I forgot I do have to reduce my time though, so I'm down 1 time and I'm up 1 ability point for moving in that direction. So you get to see the assassin. The assassin has this beautiful purple hood. Put the assassin in play. We have a level 1 rogue coming back at us, and your first time to see a cleric for this particular playthrough. Now clerics actually don't have attack, but when there's more than one of them in the party at the beginning of a turn, you immediately lose a number of ability points, depending on how many there are. Alright, there they are in their glory. I can't use abilities until the clerics are gone, which means we're going to go right into attacking. There's not more than 1 rogue, so they don't get a bonus attack. And the assassin has special abilities when he's alone. So we're in a pretty good stance right now, except that they get a nice giant agility attack. So they have 16, 20, 22, 24 agility. They're probably going to hit me. I only have a 9 defense, but we'll see. If they hit with a 14 against my 9, that is most definitely a hit. And if you roll higher than a 15 with a rogue, or with a might or agility attack while you have a rogue in the party, they get an extra attack, but thankfully it was less. Unless the assassin... Yeah, no, we're good. If the heroes succeed on an agility attack, deal 1 additional agility damage. So the assassin does that part. So I'm going to take 2 agility damage because I took an agility hit. So that's painful. I will take it right to my agility because my health is only at 4. That was a decision I made when I started the game. So I'm down to 7 agility. But I'm tough. I can handle it. I cannot use any abilities, so this is where my DieMinions are going to come in handy because they've got defense all over the place. Their might is 12, 14. They have 16 might. They have 24 agility. And then for magic, they have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 magic, 16 agility. So it makes the most sense for me to hit with magic right now. I've got to find that magical power I have deep within me. And you don't have to use DieMinions till after you roll, so let's see what happens. I'm going against their magic defense of 13. I have rolled a 6. I don't want to take too much more agility damage, so I am going to activate one of these. We're just going to go for the gusto. We're going to attack with the D20 DieMinion. So what happens is I get to roll a D20. And this could be a 1, this could be a 20. I mean, this is Die in the Dungeon, and it's all about dice rolling. And I did roll a 1, so I'm up to 7. That was painful. So Spartan's going to come to the rescue. I'm going to actually roll a D10 as well. A 10, that was a nice hit. I wish I could have done that with a D20. So now I'm up to 10, 17 against their 13. I did hit, but when a cleric is in the party, you have no choice but to defeat a cleric. That's their special power as well. So we move back on to their attack. Their agility is now at 16, 20, 22, so they're still going to roll that. They're going to roll a 20 the whole time. Roll a 20. They rolled a 10 against my agility of 7. That is a hit. Because it's an agility attack, it hits me twice. I'm going to take 1 health damage and 1 agility damage instead of taking it both to agility just to keep my number a little bit higher. Maybe less chance of getting hit. I do have dynamic dice that I'll want to remember because I might have to put those to use. Alright, so their magic is down to 6, 7, 8, 9. That's probably my best thing to attack. We're going to do a magic attack. I've only got 1 DieMinion left. I rolled a 3. I don't think I'm going to bother boosting that this turn. Actually, the game is almost over. I probably should. So they've got 6, 7, 8, 9. In order for me to get a 9, I have to boost it by 7. So I'm going to reduce my magic down to... I use these 3 dynamic dice. So that brings my number from 3 up to 6. There's the 6. And then, so I still have to get it up by 4 more points. So I'll reduce my magic down to 4. So that'll boost my result up to 13, or sorry, up to 10, and 10 will allow me to take out another cleric. So, sorry, this one has been used, but now I've defeated 2 more heroes. I've got 2 more dynamic dice there, or numbers. They're going to attack back. They've got 20, so they're going to roll. An 11 is a hit against my might. It's not over 15, so they still don't get a bonus attack, but they do a bonus damage. I'm going to take a damage to my health and a damage to my agility. So I'm down to 5. Okay, my turn to attack back. Now I can use abilities because the clerics are dead, but I don't think I want to this turn. I keep forgetting to use my dice hide. Let's see if I would have blocked. I would have had to roll a 20, and a 20, and a 20. Okay. My dice hide did not help me that round anyway. So I'm going to attack them back. They have 7 defense on magic. That's a worthwhile way to challenge them. I rolled a 7 against their 7, and I will I'll use another dynamic die. I want to save my magic defense. So I do use that. That takes out the rogue, and that leaves only the assassin left. Now the assassin cannot be defeated until the other heroes are defeated, otherwise I would have taken out the assassin. And when the assassin's the only hero, it gains +2 to might and agility. So its might defense is 12, its agility defense is 18, and its magic is only 6. So it's going to attack me. It still gets a 20 for its agility, even attacking on its own, because this assassin means business. They rolled a 6 against my 5. That is still a hit, and I can't change its die value, so I will have to take, I'll take 2 agility damage. I can't afford the health anymore. Alright, now I'm going to attack back. I'm not going to use an ability, so we're just going to attack right in with the magic. 6 defense. I rolled a 3. In order to defeat it, I have to add 4 points to that roll. Whew. I can't afford to take another hit, so we're going to take 2 points off my magic and my last 2 dynamic dice points. So those have all been used up to defeat the assassin, because that would bring me up to 7 magic against his 6. Alright, so I'll gain 2 more points for defeating 2 more heroes. And there you have it. That was a tough battle indeed. We've defeated our first epic party though, and the goal is to defeat 2 of them this game, so perhaps we can do it. Problem is I'm at 5 time, so we're going to start the next turn. At the beginning of the turn I gain an ability point, and if you remember before I told you that we have a card that says I can play this card instead of exploring, and I can place my standee up to 4 tiles away and explore that tile. Now it doesn't make it to do it yet because I might want to get further in the dungeon first. Oh yeah, so if I can get here, I might actually make it to this tile. Whether I'll defeat it or not, that's another question. But so we're going to lose a time. We're down to 4 time. I already gained my ability point, and we're going to explore this tile. We found some arrows. It's a level 1 tile. I have to make an agility check. So an agility check means that you roll the die of your agility. So I'm going to roll a d10, and I have to, if the result is less than 6, I lose 2 health immediately. Whew. So I roll a d10, and I have to get higher than a 6. Or I have to get 6 or higher. I rolled a 4. So if I lost 2 health right now, this game would be over. But you can actually use the stat value of what you're dodging to boost your roll. So it's going to be painful when I get to the fight, but I lose 2 to bring this up to a 6. And now I've met the condition of the arrows. So either that or I could have lost 2 health, which would have been done as my arrow damage anyway. So that hurt. Start the next round. I gain an ability point. I'm up to 3 ability points, and I'm going to use tunneling So tunneling cost me 2 ability points. So instead of exploring this turn, instead I can place my standee up to 4 tiles away and then explore that tile. So we're going to do that. That will still use 1 time, because when I explore, I lose a time. And you don't have a choice. You have to be exploring the dungeon. That's why you're here. That's why the wizard summoned you. But I can move 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles away and go right to this epic tile and see what happens. So we have here epic party number 2. The barbarian must be defeated before the other heroes. And the barbarian comes with a wizard and a cleric. It's a little bit opposite from the last one. And the other difference is that the wizard and the cleric are level 2 instead of level 1, because the tile is a level 2 tile. So we're going to dig through our pile of heroes here and find a wizard or a cleric that is level 2, a wizard that is level 2. I've got a 3, I've got a 4. I must have, oh yeah, I put them all in my defeated pile because I had slain them with great ease. And then the barbarian, of course. There is the barbarian. Ooh. All right. Really gonna have to remember my dice hide because I'm probably gonna die this round. Always want to refer to your hero chart when you're about to defeat or fight an epic party. The barbarian takes 2 hits to defeat him. After he's hit once, rotate him 90 degrees, and then he has to be hit again to actually defeat him. And remember, he has to die before I can fight the cleric or the wizard. And rage, while the barbarian's rotated, it actually gains +5 might and deals an additional damage. So kind of a barbarian trait. When you make it mad, you don't want to make it mad. So let's just leave it that way. Okay, so I have 1 ability point left. I cannot use my dice hoard because I was desperate for time and spent my ability points on time. I don't have any cards left other than this lovely Maximize, which I cannot use. So we're into a down and dirty fight with the bad guys, with the barbarian. So the barbarian's going to attack. They have a 20 for might, so them alone will be rolling a 20. It doesn't even matter what the others have. Barbarian rolls a 4 against my 8. That barbarian doesn't know how to hit me. The wizard, though, has 8, 6 is 14, 20. They have 20 for their time roll. A 12 against my 2 is most definitely a hit, and it's greater than 10, so I'm losing a time in addition to a magic damage, because that's the wizard's power. Wizards know how to hit you where it hurts at the end of the game. So I'm going to take a damage. I will take the magic damage. That's the last magic damage I could possibly take, because you cannot reduce your time or any of your stats below 1. So now I get to choose how to fight back. Might seems like a hopeless cause. I mean, they've got 25 might and I roll a d20. They have 17 agility and I roll a d10. And they have 10, 18 magic and I roll a d12. So how could I possibly hit them? Well, I have a d8 DieMinion. It is possible with a 20. Oh, I forgot. Let's roll my dice hide. I didn't roll a 20. I didn't block it. Okay. Anyway, what are we going to attack with? We have the potential to add up to 8 more. I don't have any dynamic dice, so that's my only boost. But because I have 8 might, I do have the chance to reduce my die roll to hit. But then the next battle is going to hurt. So we're going to roll that d20. Come on, might against might, barbarian. You couldn't hit me. Can I hit you? A 6? Nope, not a hope. Barbarian's going to attack me back. They rolled a 6 against my 8. That's a miss. I'm happy there. The wizard's going to attack. It's magic. A 14 is a hit. I lose a time. Ooh. I'm down to 1 time. I lose health because I can't afford to lose magic. I don't have any magic to lose. I could try my die hide to make sure I dodged it, but I didn't. I would have needed a 25% chance of that. Alright, I'm attacking back. I'm going for might attack again. I rolled a 17. That is a good number. 17. We're going to bring Diante into play. Use my D8 token. Roll that. Rolled a 6, so we're up to 23 against 25. So we're going to knock this down to 5. So now I have injured the barbarian. And that might have sounded like a good thing, but when the barbarian's injured, he gets +5 might. Ooh, which means I'll never hit him. So now they fight me back. The barbarian attacks. They rolled a 19, +5 is 24. That is a hit. So I will take 1. Oh, and he does an extra damage, so I'm going to take 2 damage to my might. The wizard's going to attack. He's still alive. They rolled a 19. They've knocked out my time, and they do a damage to either my magic or my health. And I can't take the damage to my magic, so I take it to my health. So even if I didn't run out of time, he took me out in health damage. I have officially died in the dungeon, but man, it was fun. I made it through quite a few tiles. I took down all kinds of wizards, got to explore and see all kinds of fun things and use some powerful abilities. And it was really close, actually. I had a chance. If I maybe if I'd explored just a little bit more, I might have had a chance, even though I was running low on time. But there you have it. There's a playthrough of Die in the Dungeon using the DieMinion's dungeon map. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the game. It is coming to Kickstarter on June 2nd, and lots of people following right now just for the kind of a fun way to escape the world and just see fantasy in a different light, so to speak. All right, take care. Thank you.